Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my fall equinox or Mabon reading. My name is Stacy. My channel is Simply Liminal, and happy change of seasons. Happy turning of the wheel to the Mabon season. If you follow the 4 holiday season of the year, and I'm just going to tell you right now, you can follow any faith or tradition that you want to. It is not tied simply to paganism. There are Christians that follow the wheel of the year. It's our way of celebrating and recognizing the cycles of the earth. That's how I feel it is. It's also the fall equinox, which is a beautiful time of year. It means that we are in balance. Right now, our planet is in balance, at least with the dark and the light. Everything else around us may feel like chaos, and it really is everywhere in the world. That is why I think celebrating this time of balance that the earth and the sun give us is so important, because we really need to find balance within ourselves during the chaos that's all around us. So the fall equinox is the time of the year when day and night is equal, at least in the northern hemisphere where I'm at, and we start now to move towards the darkness. Though really, it's been getting darker since a couple days after the summer solstice. I mean, that is how things work. But we will really feel that change now. And I did a solar eclipse reading yesterday, a very spontaneous one, and I talked about how our seasons felt so different, and that it was 84 degrees in eastern Montana where I'm at, but sometime in the night things shifted. It got cool last night. It didn't freeze. There was a sharp breeze blowing straight out of the north today, which I think is interesting, because I always notice or associate north with the season of winter, very grounded earth, cool energy, and that is where the wind is coming from. So the seasonal change is happening. Just a few things about Mabon, besides it being classically celebrated at the fall equinox. It is also, if you follow the wheel of the year, it is the time that we think of as the second harvest. The first harvest being Lammas, which is celebrated around the 1st of August. And then our third harvest will be at Halloween time, or Samhain, how you think of it in the wheel of the year. So this is the second harvest, and it is a time that I associate with harvesting of berries if they're still on the trees. Apples, those kind of fruits. That is what is being harvested now. People should be done with their grain harvest. I mean, this varies depending on where you're at in the world, on this planet, but in general, that should be done. And this is a time for celebrating the harvest that we got, and also preparing for us to move into the dark time of the year, the winter, the night. The time where we're more in shadow than we are in light. Don't be afraid of the shadow. Shadow is a wonderful time for us to kind of dig deep and look at the things that we need to change or heal in ourselves. And you shine your own light. Each and every one of us do. So never fear the darkness. Know that there is always light within you. So the name Mabon comes from Welsh mythology, and named after, and I'll probably pronounce this wrong, so forgive me. I don't know if anyone can pronounce Welsh stuff except for Welsh people, but the Welsh god Mabon ap Modron. And in Welsh mythology, is quite a hero. He is also considered to be the son of the earth goddess. So it's fitting that we are moving from Virgo season. Virgo is considered the earth goddess. She is this, it's a sign of healing and organization. And now we are moving into Libra season, which is balance, absolute balance, the most absolute balance of the signs, where there is harmony or seeking of harmony. And so we move into Mabon, and I just will say that whether, like I said, whether you follow the wheel of the year or not, it doesn't matter. I classically have always kind of been called to it, no matter what my belief system is, and I believe in almost everything, as far as traditional religion goes. There's so much that can be taken from every bit of world culture. And it's okay to believe what you believe. And don't judge people for their beliefs if they're different from you. Just celebrate that we're all very unique individuals. Now, I've already talked for 5 minutes about this. I just kind of wanted to talk about the tradition of Mabon, and how, we are now starting a new season, Libra season, which is perfect balance. I have many Libras in my life. I don't have anything Libra in my chart really, but thank goodness for them, because they really do keep us in balance. Libra is also a sign that is overseen by the sign or by the planet Venus. And Venus is really about beauty and love and gentleness and caring. And so that's kind of what we're moving into now, which is a wonderful time of the year. So again, we're going to be using the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Linn. And we're going to look at 5 cards. And these cards will be messages to us from the elements. We're looking at a message from earth, a message from water, a message from air, and a message from fire. If you're interested in that solar eclipse reading that I did yesterday, you can check that out. It was really spontaneous. I haven't done a reading for something like that for a long time, but I was really called to it. And I asked questions like, what are we supposed to learn from this solar eclipse? What are we supposed to release from this solar eclipse? And what are we going to gain from this solar eclipse? This is a little bit different. This is just looking at messages, not just, but looking at messages from the elements. So we can gain a lot from that. Anyway, so here's our message from earth. Here is our message from water. Here is our message from air. Oh, I'm going to have to arrange these differently. Here is our message from fire. And here is our message from spirit, overall spirit. Let's see if we can get these all in here. My setup's a little bit different each time I've done this. Anyway, for a lot of reasons, doesn't matter. Not going into it, but this is what we got. So let's take a look at what our overall message from the element of earth is to us for this upcoming season. Happiness. Thank God. We need some happiness. Really, the world has been hard. I don't know if it's llama season in general or September, but it really has kicked my butt. It's been really heavy. It's been dark. It's been emotional. And I am ready for a little happiness. So here we go. And we have dolphins here, which is something that connects to my mom, which makes me happy as well. The sun shining over 2 dolphins jumping through the waves. And this is happiness. So I hope that means by the end or at some point in this season of Mabon, we will feel happiness. We will feel the love and happiness of planet Earth and everything there is. I just want to read a little bit from the guidebook because what Denise Linn channels through for these is really stunning information. But I'm just taking this as something very positive because I feel like the world has been less than positive. I feel like no matter how happy, kind, caring, and loving we try to be, like things on this planet are trying to drag us down. That's how it feels. So anyways, happiness. And the card is titled Shimmering Sunshine. And the message here is click your heels and shout for joy. The signs are with you. Let your light shine. Abounding good luck awaits you. A gateway is opening for even more joy and happiness. I will just say for a second that a gateway being open or a portal being open really is symbolic of us crossing through the equinox or through the eclipse season that we just got done with, and we're moving into something new. And sometimes, I didn't mention this in my eclipse video, but sometimes you don't feel that in a week or 2 after the eclipse. It takes, 3 months, sometimes 6 months. Sometimes it's until the next equinox or the next eclipse season that you really feel that. But know that our life is expanding, opportunities are emerging, and this is a time to go forward with glee. And it says this: love deeply and fully and embrace life with open arms. I think that's really important right now, especially because everything feels so dark. There's nothing good or happy on the news. And it just feels like the energy is so charged. So I am so grateful for some happiness coming to us. So let's look at our message from water. And our message from water is stillness. And the first thing that came to my mind is still water runs deep. This is a beautiful card. I mean, it's obviously very water oriented. It is a swan floating on gentle water with a beautiful starry sky over her. And I don't know if you can see it with the lighting, but this is like frost along the edges, which really to me embraces the season that we're coming into. The coolness, the darkness, the winter. But stillness is important because sometimes we're so busy trying to do or create, especially as we are coming through the harvest season, that now is our time to be still, to listen to nature, to listen to our souls, to listen to the sound of the birds singing or the wind blowing or the water gently floating by. So the card name is Frozen Tundra, but the message I want to read to you from the card says, take a step back from a project, a situation, or relationship, even if it is just for a few moments. Mend bridges, slow down, breathe. Be still, go within, listen to your inner voice. It also says, take time to connect with your spirit guides, ancestors, and spiritual guardians, and listen to your higher self. Okay, so that is what we need to know. Water is telling us to be still. And it doesn't have to be days or weeks or months of stillness. Sometimes it's just a moment. Sometimes it's just pausing for 10 seconds and not saying what you immediately want to say when you're in a conflicting situation. Take 5 or 10 seconds, breathe, and then proceed. So, a beautiful message. Now let's look at the message from air. And I always kind of write these down, and it's funny, when I spelled out air today, I put an E on the end of it, and I thought that was really odd, but I left it that way because it was so natural. I don't know. Interesting. So our message from air is flow. And I talked this morning about how the wind changed this morning or sometime during the night, and you could feel the breeze. And it was significant. It was saying hello. But here we have flow. And this is also a water-based card in the art, but air flows just like water does. And flow can also indicate our emotions, which I think have been so heightened in this last 4 to 6 weeks, just like so emotional. But the air is telling us flow. And flow sometimes is what comes to us when we're being gentle and just letting ourselves go forward very naturally, or even go sideways very naturally, because sometimes we gain ground not by pushing forward, but by letting the current take us where we need to be. So the card name for this is Meandering River. And the message here is, there are times to hold on tight to the shore, and there are times to enter the flow. Notice where life is going and move in that direction. Watch for signs and follow them. Don't resist. I think this is the hardest thing in life, maybe just for me, but I think for a lot of people, is wanting to control the situation, wanting to influence things. This is telling us don't resist. And sometimes we need to gracefully release. And release is something I'm working on physically in my life as well as emotionally. And so this is a beautiful card for that. I think for all of us, don't resist. When you go with the flow, your life force expands and healing on all levels abounds. This is also a time to release old limiting patterns, forgive, and let go of the need to be right about your beliefs. Let me read that sentence again. Let go of the need to be right about your beliefs. I feel like this is a message for the world right now. It's okay if your beliefs are different from someone else's. It's okay if my beliefs differ from my family's or my friends or my coworkers. Everyone is an individual. Every spirit and soul on this planet has their own path, their own way forward. And so this is sometimes the time where we just kind of flow together and let new beginnings happen, let changes happen. Beautiful message. Also beautiful card. There's a full moon over this gorgeous sky, and my eclipse reading, one of the cards that came up was the full moon, and it was illumination. And, really that's 2 weeks after the new moon. We just had this new moon eclipse, and that's right at this seasonal gateway. And so I feel like it's so powerful. And I think in a couple weeks, we're going to get that illumination that we need. And I'm not trying to mix readings here, but I just feel like it's all connected, these messages from spirit. And so right now, what we need to do is flow. Don't fight, don't resist. Flow and release what needs to be released. And the more gentle and graceful you do that, the easier it's going to be. All right, let's look at fire. I'm a double Leo, so I love fire. I love all things about the fire cards, the fire seasons, the fire element, creativity and abundance and growth. Yum. Anyways, let's see what we got from fire. We have abundance. This card came up, I think, it's come up a couple times in our last seasonal readings. But here we have abundance. And this is a beautiful picture of wildflowers. And it is really talking about the abundance that is all around us in nature. It also kind of calls to me to think about the harvest season that we're moving through and how we want to be grateful for that abundance. I just kind of want to look back. Oh, it did come up last reading, but it was the water card. So abundance is coming to us as a message now from a different element, but still very important. So this card is called Wildflower Wonderland. And the message here says, everything is blossoming in life. Open yourself to receive. Abundance, fulfillment, and prosperity are ready to be activated in your life. Life desires for you to prosper. I'm just going to pause here and say the last several weeks or months has been difficult. Like, I do monthly readings, and when I did my September monthly reading, I talked about how I just felt like September was going to be, I was unsure of it and anxious, and I felt like it was going to be hard. And then the reading was so positive. But I will tell you that life has been challenging emotionally, physically, financially. But that's okay, because abundance is still there. It's still coming for us. And this says it all. Life desires for you to prosper. It really does. So sometimes we need to change our mindset and just remember how lucky we are to be in this moment in time, even though everything feels so hard right now. I mean, we have the gift of a beautiful life and the ability to do so many things with it. It says here, you are moving towards an outpouring of money, energy, time, or love, and that opportunities are limitless. Don't wait for abundance to fall in your lap. Take steps to get it. Give deeply and fully, and don't hold back. Okay, that is our message from fire. So let's look at our overall message from the spirit element, which really is everything. Everything. We have thriving. Sorry, I dropped that card. It jumped right out of my hand. This card came up, I feel like, last seasonal reading as well. So we have a giraffe here out on the African savanna, but look at the stuff going on behind. There's a beautiful blooming flower. There aren't a lot of trees, but this tree that we can see is bright and full and thriving. And the sky shows the moon and the stars. Gorgeous. And so Spirit is telling us that if we are not feeling like we're thriving now, we soon will be. And sometimes it is just a matter of mindset. And I have had to tell myself that a lot in the last, especially month. So let's look at what the message is from the thriving card. And this card is called African Savanna. Not that it necessarily matters, but the artwork is beautiful, gorgeous, really. And the message here says, and I like this because life does feel like it's been challenging. And so I personally need this message, and I think a lot of you do as well. If you draw this card, you are a survivor. And not only do you survive, but you use situations that others might not find challenging to thrive. You expand when others shrink. This may be the time to adapt to your circumstances rather than overcome them. Now, adapting always kind of talks about flow and also listening to your inner stillness. You have a remarkable ability to step beyond any challenge. You are strong. And it does say here that others may find shelter in your energy. And right now that's okay. So if you can be the shelter for someone else who is struggling, sometimes all it takes is a smile, a kind word, a bit of appreciation, and that can go a long way forward in healing wounds, on all sides, healing everybody just by a kind word. Like sometimes for you, or me, like when I'm at the grocery store and I'm overwhelmed with how much everything costs and I'm trying to get my shopping done as quick as possible. And sometimes seeing someone you haven't seen for 5 years and just taking a minute to talk to them and catch up, that's all you need to kind of restore your soul and really our faith in each other and humanity. So I think this is a beautiful reading, and I hope that this transition now at the fall equinox in this Mabon season, where we are moving into balance, we really need to hold on to these messages, hold on to the idea of balance, and knowing that the way forward is balanced. It's not this side. It's not this side. It's not struggling with your differences. It's finding your similarities and moving forward with that. So I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I am grateful for you all who are listening. I would love to hear any comments that you have about how this last season has affected you, about what your hopes are for this next season. Know that you're not alone if you feel like life has been a struggle. It has been. And there are a lot of reasons for that I'm not going to go into right now. Also, if you're interested, check out that solar eclipse reading, because it was really interesting also in the messages that came forward. So I will see you soon at the beginning of October for our October monthly reading, and I'm looking forward to that. And until then, take care. Enjoy this beautiful fall equinox. And honestly, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're listening to this, enjoy your spring equinox. You are moving into the season of light and abundance, so enjoy that as well. But here, we're moving into the dark season in the Northern Hemisphere, and that's okay too, because that is a natural cycle on this planet, and it is something that we all move through and gain something from. I don't know what it is for each and every one of us, but enjoy the season. Happy fall equinox. I also just want to throw something I didn't mention but wanted to. If you follow different mythological stories, civilization stories, this is the time of year when Persephone and Hades are reunited. When Persephone sheds her crown as the princess or goddess of the spring, and she goes down to be with her husband, and she assumes the mantle and crown of queen. And that is really important, because even in the darkness, Persephone found strength and a purpose, a different purpose than the one she had. And in the spring, she'll move back forward and she'll fulfill another purpose that she has. And we're all a bit like Persephone in that way. We are many faceted. We have many mantles and hats that we wear. And if we just understand that that is a natural cycle that everybody goes through, I think we can gain a lot from that. So anyways, take care. Enjoy the season. Again, my name is Stacy. Thank you for coming to my channel, Simply Liminal. Bye-bye.